Hello Leo, welcome to your monthly tarot reading for April 2023. This reading is for you if you are a sun, moon or rising sign Leo. I hope these energies guide you, I hope they give you insight and just that they help you in this month ahead. Let's get started. Leo, what a reading. Look at your cards. The overall energy is 27 with Underworld, very Pluto energy. We have the Two of Cups, the Sun, the Two of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. We have receptivity, Turtle Spirit with slow and steady wins the race. And we have paradigm. Now, Pluto has just changed signs. I think the last just gone into Aquarius. Now, I'm not an astrologer, but I love astrology and I follow astrology, and it means a lot to me. And I think the last time it was in Aquarius was like 1790 something, but like that's how long ago. That is how, I think it's like 250 years or something like that. And it's going to be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So there is this huge shift in the stars. But I'm feeling with this card, especially it coming up now that Pluto has changed signs, and Pluto changing signs, because it doesn't do it often, is a big thing. I feel like the changes in you are a big thing, Leo. And I feel with this 27, I'm seeing that as a 9 in numerology is endings, it's completions, it's the culmination of things. And I feel with the 2 and the 7, it's like the 2 is partnerships of all sorts, not just romantic, and you've got 2 2s here as well. So there's this sense of connection with others. And then the 7, we're working as 7 this year. 7 is a very spiritual number for me. It's very, it's generally when we work a 7 year that we're working a spiritual year. But 7 is this year. So I'm kind of saying, I'm kind of feeling that this energy permeates throughout the whole year. And there's going to be partnerships in your life that are really going to help you shift things. And that's what I feel this Underworld is I feel like there's a time where you were spiraling down, and you might still feel like you are, because I feel like she's going down. I don't feel like she's going up. But Spirit's saying to me, I felt an energy shift as I said that, as in, ugh, what more? No. Spirit's saying there are still things to learn, there are still things to understand. What he wants you to see is this does not get darker, it gets lighter. Because it's not a sense of to rise up, you have to go up. To rise up, you have to go through. So Leo, there's a sense in April of you going through something. Now, if you look at this, I think this card's actually really beautiful. It's really old. It's an old building. I don't even want to call it a building, but I can't think of another word. But it's beautiful and old, and it has moss growing on it. And there's a sense of what you're going through is old stuff. But look at this light. Spirit is funneling you through this time, Leo, to get you to, I was going to say the other side, and Spirit went, It's to get you through. And so because when I said to get you through to the other side, Spirit said no, and I felt myself say, well, what are you getting through? Like, to go through something, there's another side. And he's saying no, because as you make your way through this, it dissolves. So it's just something that you will no longer carry. Now this could be things that you leave. Remember, this is a 9. And I'm really getting a sense like under the world. So almost like not of this world. And it's like if relationships are ending, if jobs are ending. And Spirit said for some of you there is that, but for the majority of you is leaving past baggage behind. It will literally, the more you allow yourself to go through it, Turtle Spirit is here. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady is the speed for this month for you, Leo. And being a fire sign, I know sometimes that can be a bit difficult, but the more you can slow down, especially when you want to speed up, the better you will do, because this is not going to be comfortable. You will want to rush through it. You will want to sidestep it. You'll want to jump off. Spirit is saying, no, if you go through it. Now, I'm getting this image of you're walking along and you've got like all these backpacks on you. Now, as you walk through this, so as you acknowledge all the stuff that's on your back, all the stuff that you have been carrying, Leo, as you bring those up to your seeing, your vision, they would dissolve. So I'm seeing you walk with all these different backpacks piled on your back, and as you walk through this, as you acknowledge them and accept them, they kind of just dissolve like smoke. They kind of just like, you know, in movies sometimes you see like people and they just turn to dust kind of thing, or things like that. That's what I'm seeing, these backpacks on your back. As you acknowledge each and every one of them, they just dissolve. They will no longer be an issue in your life. You will no longer carry them. And that's what Spirit wants. Spirit wants you like you were when you were a baby. Now, yes, I already, it's like, oh, what? Like knowing nothing, and no, not in that sense, but in the way that a baby comes into the world and it doesn't know what it can't do. It doesn't know what no means. If it wants to cry, it will cry. It doesn't care if the neighbors hear it. It doesn't care what the world thinks. And it's not even, thank you, Spirit, it's not even that it doesn't care because it just thinks, oh, well, I'm not bothered about you. It doesn't register. It doesn't register anything outside of itself. Now, Spirit's asking me to say to you, be careful with that energy. Because that energy can be very liberating, very freeing, very expansive, but it can actually be very much the opposite. Because this sense of self that Spirit wants to bring to you. Leo, the Sun is your card. This is you, Leo. The universe wants this sense of self to be embraced, to expand you, not to limit you. And by that, the way that we limit our sense of self is when we go into the righteous self, the entitled self. And there's this energy of slow and steady, because going slow and steady will show you, you will see what energy you are embracing. Look at what you have on either side of the Sun. This is that energy that I was just telling you about. This is open, receptive. This is the sense of self in conjunction with the all that is. Your sense of self, the uniqueness of you, doesn't butt up against others. It will push slightly, and if the ego is not involved, that person will either slightly push back and you'll find this comfortable medium, or that person will be almost like repelled, if you like. Repelled, a spirit saying that's too strong a word, but it'll realize the compatibility is not there and it'll just fall away. But there's this sense of this give and take, but it's not at the expense of anybody. It's two very different people can find so much common ground without either one of them having to compromise their values, their core essence, their core values, their authentic self. But they each have something to offer. They can come together being different in harmony. On the other hand, if you go in with the ego sense of self, that sense of entitlement, that sense of, well, I'm doing it my way, I don't care about the people around me. The people around me can follow or they can be left behind. This energy is very different to this energy. This is open. This is hi, this is me. This is authentic. This is almost like I've got my guard up. I'm not going to show, you know, like they say your eyes is the, like looking into your soul. You've got them covered. So you're not quite showing your true self. You're kind of a bit, I'm going to test the water first. I'm going to see how I go. Very colourless, isn't it? And there's this sense of, almost I'm going to keep everybody and everything at a comfortable distance until I've got what I want, and then I might see how I go. This sense of self, Leo, is I don't even know how to explain how important it is. I really want to go as far as saying this is life-changing. Because I feel that after going through and having those things that have been weighing you down for so long be lifted off you, dissolve away from you, you are going to feel this rush of self-worth. You're going to feel this rush of, I can do anything, because you will feel so light. Spirit does say be careful how you embrace that energy. Now, this is how the energies are likely to play out, but it's also the 4-week breakdown. Now, I haven't touched on the 4 of Pentacles, but I will get to that. I feel like this is kind of separate. These 3 kind of play together, if you like, and then this is a final energy of the weeks. But so if this is your 4-week breakdown, Leo, I really see that is in as you start to lose the baggages, the heaviness, the fog that has been surrounding you for so long, that has just made clarity so hard to find, where insight has eluded you, ideas, everything was a bit of a struggle. Everything was a bit like, it's almost like you were doing everything as if your feet were wading through mud. It's so difficult, so difficult. It just makes everything heavy and tiring. And then, so as that lifts, you have this rush of love, this rush of lightness, and it brings real openness. And I feel the sun here is Spirit showing you the beauty, the light of you and the light of others. There's this real sense here of, I'm just seeing the soul, but I feel like you're seeing other people's soul. You're seeing the truth in everything that's around you. Not the sparkle, not the veils, not the insecurities, not the fear, the true essence, the true light of everything. And as that grows, this 2 of Swords, I'm really seeing it in your reading, which is interesting because it's choices normally, but I'm not seeing it as choices. I'm seeing it as that there will be a moment where your ego kicks in and you will have, the words that I've been given is an inflated sense of self-importance. Now, the reason Spirit is telling me that that's there is so that you can see and feel the difference, because this will happen very quickly. You'll feel the shift in energy if you're taking things slowly, if you're taking your time and you're not rushing off on this energy. The more you rush, when this gush of energy comes to you, when this lightness comes and you're just going to want to get out and do stuff, the more you rush into that energy, the more you're going to do things with this sense of entitlement, sense of self-importance. But I do believe all of you will pass through this. Some of you might get stuck into it a little bit longer than others. Some of you might just touch on it and see the difference. You'll feel the energy shift. This is much cooler. This is more fleeting. This will have you rushing out in self-importance, but then having moments of, oh, I don't know if I am all that. I don't know if I am. So there'll be this mix of an overly inflated sense of self to then these moments of great insecurity. This energy doesn't have that, Leo. This energy is just love. It's just this, wow, I'm here. I'm allowed to be seen. I'm allowed to be me. I'm allowed to say yes, thank you, no, thank you. I'm allowed to voice my opinion, but I don't need to do it to change anybody else's mind. Oh, excuse me, it's just to show people who I am. you'll feel how different these energies are. And then we finish the month, very interestingly enough, with the Four of Pentacles. And, you know, when I first saw it come out, I sort of thought, Spirit, what is this Four of Pentacles? It just didn't seem to fit in with anything. And it very much ties in with this Two of Cups. I'm really looking at, there's the gold. He has one person, there's two people here, but this predominantly like white background. This has hills, the countryside, this has a city. But there's almost a sense with this Four of Pentacles. I really feel that, one, you won't be sitting in the same spot that you were. So if you were, I see the countryside as being a little bit more isolated. If you were isolated, you'll now be surrounded by people. If you were overly stimulated and overly surrounded by people, you'll probably find yourself a little bit more isolated. But whichever energy you're changing to, it's the energy that's going to fit you better. So it's not seen as like a negative thing. Now this Four of Pentacles is kind of holding on to his pentacles, standing on them. And sometimes I can see the Four of Pentacles as a little bit of a stuck energy. But here I'm just seeing this, I don't know, I've never seen it really like this before, but I'm seeing this Four of Pentacles as the King of Pentacles who has finally achieved what he wanted to. And he's being careful. He's being careful with his knowledge. He's being careful with his heart, with what he shares. And he's being careful with what's tangible of this world. So his resources, the people that he surrounds himself with. And I think this carefulness is to make sure you're really seeing the difference in these energies. The more, if you just go out and just talk willy-nilly, what information are you giving? Like, you know, this is thoughtful, this is careful. It is really, that's the word I'm getting. Thanks, Spirit, that I understand the meaning completely. It's just this careful energy of, I know how valuable my thoughts are. I'm going to watch them and I'm going to make sure that they align with my beliefs, my true core values, my truths. I know how important my heart is. It's almost like, you know, it can even encompass, like, it's this whole middle self, isn't it? So even his words, his heart, even the solar plex a little bit. So it's like your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plex, your words, your feelings, your power. How do you share that? Do you impose it on people? Do you impose your views, impose your love? Or do you just give and allow those that want to receive, and those that don't? It doesn't matter, they can walk away. And then your resources, what you have, you're not just throwing those out into the wind. You're looking at, okay, I have, I don't know, maybe you have a business and you can employ people, and you're being careful that the people that you employ fit with your core values. There's this sense that this sharing with others, these connections that you're going to have with others, they're not based on one person having to overly compromise. It's like this meeting in the middle of two very different worlds, if you like. But there's this common ground that neither of them have to give up their authentic selves in order to be in the relationship. And I'm not even saying this is romantic. It can be. it can be business, it can be just even feeling like it's just people that you meet, or just random people. But there's this sense that you understand that the importance of what you have to share and to give, and so you're being really careful with it. And that brings us to the turtle spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, it does. And this 62 is an 8. An 8 is all about your personal power. Our personal power doesn't rush or push or control. It doesn't need to instill fear or dread or worry in others in order for them to get them to follow us, or in order to get them to do what we want them to do. It's not that energy at all. Our personal power is moving slowly and methodically, being true, always having the time to see, am I still being true to myself? Am I doing this out of love? Does this resonate with me? The more slowly you can go, the more you'll have time to see that. Because when this is all new, this is fairly new, you're letting go of these baggages, but when we carry around our baggages with us so much, we form habits around them. So there's a certain way that we respond to situations because of previous situations that we've had, that we're carrying the pain of them, or the disappointment, or the anger of them. So they do tint our everyday interactions and reactions. So the faster we go, the faster we move through, the less thoughtful, as in the less we allow ourselves time to engage in our thoughts and our feelings and the intuition, the more we're likely to fall back on our old reactions, our old way of reacting to situations. And then we've got the final message, which is receptivity. Giving is generous, but when it's overdone, it can deplete your energy and block the inward flow of abundance. Creating time to relax and receive will soften your life to a more expanded and harmonious flow. Let go and receive. The universe has so much to share with you. That's really this energy of the Four of Pentacles. It's that sense of just slow, relax. There's not a sense that you have to, suddenly you've got this knowledge or this insight, or this, suddenly you've got more energy because you feel lighter, but then you just have to throw it left, right and center. People don't always want our insights. People don't always want clarity. And that's their right. That is absolutely their right. We are all on different paths. And you know, the saying, you can lead a horse to water but you can't make it drink. We often say that as in, oh, stupid person, you know, like stupid horse. I've done everything I can, well, whatever. But that's not this energy, that's this energy. We're annoyed because our knowledge and everything that we've gained in wisdom, people are not taking it on board. Why aren't you listening to me? Why aren't you doing what I said? No, because when you shove things down people's throat, they just want to spit it out. They don't want it. This energy is a sense of, oh, I like what you're saying. I'm going to try that on. Here, let's exchange energy. Let's exchange words, ideas. Very, very different energy. And then we have the paradigm. And it says, The new paradigm that you are bringing into existence is a powerful one of co-creation, trust, community, sovereignty, and love as the guiding force. A part of your purpose is unlearning the old ways of living in judgment, comparison, competition, and fear, and encouraging a higher way for all. I love when the cards kind of just repeat. They kind of just add extra clarity. It is powerful, and it is a co-creation. Look at, this is you, this is the minor arcana, this is what you do to co-create with spirit, and the sun is major arcana. It's what spirit's doing to co-create with you. You just have to be open and willing and to go slow, and spirit's with the sun, spirit's pretty much doing the rest, my friends. Just, I can't tell you enough, Leo, just go slow. This is to go through so everything dissolves. Give everything time to dissolve. You don't want any of that residue left on you. The lighter and the freer you can be, gosh, the more you have to give, the more you have to share with others. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love and light, Leo. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.